Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the class of ce-333 Environmental Engineering 2. So, today we'll discuss from here. This is sustainability of water and sanitation services. Sustainability. So, whenever we talk about sustainability, what do we think? What is this? Sustainability. What is this, guys? Sustainability. When you tell something is sustainable, what does that mean? Sustainable. বাংলা কি? টেকসই, right? Sustainable development, টেকসই উন্নয়ন. Didn't you hear it?
Yes,
जी सर।
yes,
That means something that lasts for long lasting. Long lasting. So, if you want your water and sanitation service to be sustainable, you need to consider some crucial factors. We'll discuss on those topics. And if you look at the Sustainable Development Goal, number 6 actually, goal number 6 directly hits the wash, that is water, sanitation, and hygiene. Water, sanitation, and hygiene. Goal number 6.1 targets safe drinking water. Goal number 6.2 targets sanitation and hygiene. Goal number 6.3 targets water quality. 6.4 targets water efficiency. 6.5 integrated water resources management, and 6.6 water related ecosystems. So you can see that goal number 6 is directly focusing on wash. Now that means if you want sustainable development for a nation, then you have to ensure, you have to achieve sustainability in wash. If you want sustainable development of a nation, then you need to ensure sustainable wash. That will help you to achieve sustainable development. Are you following me?
यस
yes,
सर।
sir.
Now, how to make wash sustainable? Water, sanitation, and hygiene service. How to make this sustainable? We'll discuss on that. So look at this. They are giving the sustainability definition, the maintenance of desired quantity and acceptable quality standard of water supply and sanitation services throughout a significant period of time. That means long lasting, may be defined as sustainability. Now, if you want to make a water supply or sanitation system sustainable, then you need to provide, I mean, a sustainable water supply and sanitation service should be able to provide efficient and reliable service, can be financed or co-financed by the users, and is being used in an efficient and effective way without negatively affecting the environment. So these are the properties of a sustainable wash. What are these again? Provides an efficient and reliable service. Can be financed or co-financed by the users and without negatively affecting the environment. Guys, if a service is efficient and reliable, then would you be motivated to use it or not? If the service meets your expectation and desire, then would you be motivated to use the service or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because the service is efficient and reliable. So if you are willing to use the service, then this is a property of sustainability. Then the system will last for long because the users are using it. Number two, can be financed or co-financed by the users. You know what? Uh, People have the community, different communities have different types of income. You may have a low income community, you may have a high income community. Now, if you provide an technology here, expensive technology here, would they be able to bear the expense? Hmm? Would they be able to bear the expense if it's outside their, beyond their capacity? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is a low income community. If you provide expensive service, would they be able to meet this expense? Yes
No,
or no?
sir. No, sir.
No.
So
No,
you
sir.
are not.
No.
So in that case, the system, I mean, you have provided the technology fine, but in the long run, people or the community will not be able to finance it. And if they are not able to finance it, then the system will be stopped. So that will not be sustainable. So you have to provide cheaper technology here so that these people can afford it. And you may provide expensive technology here. Expensive means luxury, right? So when people have high income, then you have to provide luxury. Then they may desire luxury, may or may not. That means, guys, that number two can be financed or co-financed by the users. And number three is negatively affecting the environment. That means the system should be efficient. Efficient means, let me give you an example. Um, like there is no leakage in the water supply system, so wastage is reduced. That's an example of not negatively affecting the environment. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Another example is your sewer is made in such a way that the sewage inside the sewer does not come out or overflow and pollute the environment. That's also an example without negatively affecting the environment. So this will lead to the sustainability of the water supply and sanitation system. Did I make it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, the definition involves four crucial dimensions. One is community, technology, institutional environment, and efficient use. Look, the community, guys. Let's say this is the community for whom you are supposed to design the water supply and sanitation system. Now, how would you know that if they have low income or high income? How many people are there those belong to low income group, and how many people are there who belong to high income group? How could you know? You need to conduct a survey, am I right? Huh? Right?
Yes.
So, and you need to get an idea about their economic condition. Now, sometimes people may have money, but they are not willing to spend much on a particular service. So, high income does not may not always necessarily mean luxury. So, how could you know? So, you need to conduct this survey to know how much they are willing to pay. Willing to pay. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes also culture is an issue. Culture. For example, in a rural area, okay, people may not be able to, may not be willing to use high commode. They are more comfortable with low commode. Now, in those cases, if you provide high commode, people may not use it. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that means you need to know through the survey their culture, their social conditions, and social norms, and these things. So these are very important. Not incorporating these issues in a project can lead to the failure of the project, and it happened many times. So that's why you need to know these things. How? By conduct a survey. That means in taking decision on which technology you are going to select, you are involving community, the people in the decision making, that you guys decide on which technology, which types of service you want to get and comfortable with and prefer. As a result, what would happen? These people will be motivated to maintain the technology or service, finance the service for the long run, and as a result, your technology, your service will be sustainable. Did I make it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So community participation is very important. Okay, you should go through this. And then technology, as I told you, technology needs to meet the uh, demand of the community, their expectations. It needs to be in such a level that is technically, socio-economical, institutional, and political conditions and capacity of the community. So these things, they meet these things. Okay, match the technology has to match the type of solution the community wants and is willing and able to manage and sustain, and that are in line with technical, socio-economical, institutional, and political conditions. The institutional environment, guys, when you provide a sanitation service or a water supply service, there needs to be an institution who will be responsible to run the service, to maintain the service. If there is a clogging or anything, they are supposed to fix it, and they are responsible to collect money from the users. So you collect money from the users and use this money for maintenance and other purpose. In our case in Dhaka, who is responsible to do this, guys? Dhaka Wasa, right? Diwasa. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Institutional environment is also important. And then the efficient and effective use of water and sanitation facilities. I already told you. Okay. Demand responsive approach. What does that mean? That means you will provide the service according to the demand of the community. That's called demand responsive approach. Okay. Now, if a water supply and sanitation systems, uh, if the water supply and sanitation systems want to be sustainable, five criteria has to be maintained. Five criteria. What are those? Coverage, continuity, quantity, quality, and cost. Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's see one by one. Coverage. Let's say you are providing a tube well here. What will happen to these people? For them, the location will be very far. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
they may not be willing to use this. Therefore, you have to consider it. You may provide here, there, there, so that all the people can access it within a reasonable distance. So coverage is important. Again, for example, you are providing water supply network like this and this. Okay, so these are the buildings here, right? There is there. Now, what would happen to these people? There is no pipe network. Would they get that water? They'll not get. So coverage is important. Okay, so you need to provide another pipe network here. coverage. Then continuity. For example, your water that's coming from Dhakawasa that is available only for 5 hours in the morning or 2 hours in the morning, not 24 hours. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In
Yes,
that
sir.
case, that is called continuity. That means your water supply is not continuous. So continuity in service provision is needed in order to help avoid risk of people returning to contaminated water sources and previous sanitation practices, which is not hygienic. That means uh, you have to supply the water at a certain duration, which is acceptable, reasonable. Okay, quantity. For example, the demand here is 1,000 meter cube per second, and you are providing 700 meter cube per second. So there is a shortage, am I right? So
Ye-
the remaining 300, 1,000 minus 700 meter cube per second, why would the community get that from, right? So in that case, they may not be using this sanitation service, a water supply service. So quantity is important. Then quality, very important. If the water that is supplied to the community that has turbidity, that has color, that has odor, would the people be willing to use it? No. So quality has to be ensured. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basic requirements for community management. If you want to manage the community, that means if you want to ensure the community participation, you need to make sure to enable an environment, sus- the sustainable technology, a level of service that responds to the realistic demand of the community, and partnership. Then transparent decision making, proper management, impartial institution, and adequate monitoring. Adequate monitoring is important, guys. Why? Because sometimes you need to collect water from this pipe and need to check whether the quality is good or not, because there may be leakage in the pipe through which the pollution can occur. Okay. What are the benefit of community participation? It leads to commitment, because if you meet the demand of the community, then community will be committed to use the service, to maintain the service in the long run. So your service will be sustainable. Also, there are many problems that the community is facing, which an outsider may not know. So if you involve the community, you will be able to know those problems and will successfully incorporate issue, protective measures in the design to solve those problems or resolve those problems. Okay, all these things will make you to will help you to make the system sustainable. That's what they're telling here. And then correct level of technology. It will help you to select the correct level of technology, whether it's a cheaper technology, whether it's a luxurious technology. Okay. Now, sustainability of water service. Water service means fresh water supply. Developed country, guys. Developed country. So developed countries people have higher income. So high level of service is required. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Then
sir.
that means when you are requiring high level of service, luxury, then it needs more mechanization and automation. More mechanization and automation in order to reduce the need for labor, right? Developing countries, you need to select something which is easy to operate and repair without too much technical knowledge. In that case, it will be cheaper and efficient operation and maintenance must be ensured. Now, sustainability of sanitation services. So far, we have discussed sustainability of water service. Now, we'll discuss sustainability of sanitation service. In rural sanitation, as I told you, that using toilet in rural area is a culture. There are many cultural and socio-economical issues. So, involving the community is important to know their desire, good maintenance, and locally available and inexpensive material. You need to provide a service which can use the locally available and inexpensive materials. That will make the service cheaper for the rural sanitation. Urban sanitation. You have to make sure that the community can afford to pay for the sanitation service that you are providing for. The conventional sewer system that we have discussed in the last lecture, the conventional sewer system, sewer network, right? This is often involved with high cost and need to use large volume of water for excreta disposal, human waste disposal. Because in the toilet you flush a lot of water, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then it needs requirement of careful and skilled construction. Sometimes there is chance of blockage of the system. So therefore, it may not be appropriate to the low income community because of the high cost. Okay, so you need to perform analysis whether they are appropriate for a community or not. For sustainability of an urban sanitation system, following points should be considered. First of all, various systems are required to suit the diverse environments into which they are to be introduced. Conventional sewage is suitable where affordable. Conventional sewage means this one. You can provide it where people can afford it. Sewered sister flush toilets or pour flush toilets are suitable, but the system is expensive. Septic tank and soakways are suitable in low density areas, but they are expensive. Septic tank and soakways. You know what is soakway? Guys, do you know soakway? What is soakway? Huh? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what is soakway?
No, sir.
Okay. So sometimes the wastewater that is coming from the house, okay, uh, you provide it in a sedimentation tank. And what does the sedimentation tank do, guys? It retains the solid matter, right? And discharges the liquid portion. So these liquid portions, uh, you can make a trench in the soil, a trench in the soil, and then this liquid portion can be carried out through a pipe, and that pipe has many pores. Okay, so while traveling through the pipe, the liquid portion may infiltrate into the ground, and eventually it filters out. Okay, this is called soakway. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But still it requires this trenching, right, issues, pipe, so this is expensive also. And conventional sewage system is also expensive. Okay, now let's talk about a system which is medium and low operating cost. What's that? Twin pit cistern flush toilet. What's that? Twin pit. Pit means hole, twin means two. Let's see. uh let's say it's a community, guys. This is a community. You have one house here, another house here, another one here, another one here. So they are located from each other at a far distance, right? Now, for this system, if you plan to give this conventional pipe network, sewage network, then it will be expensive. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It would have been the conventional sewage system would have been economical if you had provided it in a high density population like this. So lots of people will be paying for this technology, so you'll get a lot of money. But here, only one or two, and paying for these long pipes will be expensive for them. Okay, so in those cases, what you can do, you can provide on-site sanitation system. What is that? On-site. What happened here? What happened here? You are collecting the waste and transporting them to somewhere else. Here also, you are collecting the waste and transporting them to the pipe to somewhere else for the treatment. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But here, so that was off-site. So that was off-site because you are collecting, transporting the waste from the source of generation to somewhere else. But there was offsite. But in on-site sanitation system, what we do is this. For example, we have the house here. So your washroom is here, toilet. Now you make two pit to hole in the ground. Okay, so the waste coming from the toilet is collected to this in this pit under the ground. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what would happen? This waste has both solid and liquid part, right? The solid and liquid part. What would happen to the liquid part, guys? The liquid part will eventually infiltrate into the ground. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you need to make sure that if you have this kinds of service, your groundwater table is not nearby. Otherwise, there is chance of groundwater pollution. So you have to maintain a distance of maybe 10 to 15 meter at least. Okay, it will vary depending on the type of soil. This recommendation. Let's say 15 meter from the uh, location of the pit, so that the pollution does not reach to the groundwater. Okay, clear.
Yes, sir.
Now, what happened to the solid waste? This solid waste will eventually accumulate here, right? And at a time, it will be filled out, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what will you do in that case? So, uh, when this pit will be filled out, what would you do? That's the question. How would you use the toilet, right? You close it. You close it, and then you use this pit when it is filled out. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
After 6 months or 3 months, this pit will also be filled out. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what did you do? Now, in between these 3 to 6 months, what happened? This is organic matter, solid waste. So there is anaerobic digestion, decomposition by the microorganism, and as a result, you'll see this has become pure soil. This has become pure what? Soil. So you can excavate this soil again, dig it, and make the hole ready to operate again. So you close it down when it's sealed, close it down, and then again you start using this. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
That's how,
Yes,
in
sir.
this alternative way, you use this toilet. Since you have two pits here, so this is called twin pit latrine. Twin pit, because you have two pits here. Okay, so this can be simple and low cost technology for low density area, and system is inexpensive. Okay, pit latrines. For slums, communal latrine is maybe suitable because for slums they have in slums you have low income people, and communal latrine means one latrine will be used by multiple households. Okay. Small bore sewer system is suitable for areas where permeability of soil is low, like Soakway and others. Okay. So SBS, this small bore sewer system, you know what happens? Sometimes, in case of conventional sewer system, if you introduce conventional sewer system, if you introduce a septic tank, as I told you, the solid portion will be retained and only the liquid portion will discharge, right? So as a result, the size of the sewer will be smaller. The size of the sewer will be smaller because your solid portion has been retained by the septic tank. It's not coming out of the septic tank. So your size of the sewer, that means pipe, will be smaller. So that's called SBS system. Okay, small bore sewer system. Why small bore? Because pipe diameter requirement is smaller. So we need small bore. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? No questions. Okay, then thank you very much. Have a
No,
good
sir.
one. Stay safe.